Bethenny Frankel is confirming that she will never return to the Real Housewives of New York. And she's responding again to Erika Jayne's cold and callous statements on Watch What Happens Live. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it was just yesterday that we were talking about Bethenny Frankel's response to Erika Jayne's very callous and cold statement that she made on Watch What Happens Live. I'm using exact words that Bethenny used in her recent TikTok video. So Bethenny took to TikTok to talk about the things that Erika Jayne said on the show, because when she was on Watch What Happens Live the next day, it was pre-recorded, so she didn't address it then. But Bethenny confirms in this video that she was really just addressing the real life people, Dennis's kids and family, that were affected by her statement. And look, some of you are saying, well, he is. However, Erika just says things with such coldness, and this is why they call her the Ice Queen. And well, now they call her the Ice Queen because of her lack of empathy for victims. Bethenny took to her TikTok to confirm a couple of different things. First of all, this is exactly why she left the Real Housewives of New York, why she left the franchise overall, and that she won't be returning to this particular type of reality TV.
So many of you want me to respond to the Erika Jayne comment about my ex who passed. She said about him, her guy's dead and mine's in a home, so whatever. It was just very cavalier, and it was a little bit callous and cold, and many of you have been disgusted by it and really wanted me to comment. And I was on Watch What Happens Live the following night to promote my book, Business is Personal, which, by the way, this is interesting. This is an example of business being personal. And it was pre-recorded, so I didn't respond there. Then so many people said something on Twitter that I said I know many of you are disgusted, as are his children, which they are. Here's my response. The truth of the matter is I left the Housewives by choice. I left twice, and this time it's permanent. And I left for this reason, that I don't want to be in this atmosphere with this kind of toxicity that's unnecessary. Many of us have drama and toxic dynamics in our work life, in our personal lives, and we try to remove those toxins, but I've chosen to not do that anymore. So while I recognize that it was a cold and callous comment, I don't have anything to do with Erika Jayne, and not even in a rude way. We do not literally have anything to do with each other. So I don't think that much of it. I know that it affected certain people around me that commented on it, but I just really don't give it that much thought. I am focusing on this book and paying it forward and helping other people to achieve their dreams and find their non-traditional success and figure out when and why and how they can extricate themselves from situations that aren't working for them. So this is all very poetic, because this situation is literally why I left that genre of reality television. It's just not where I wanted to be. I don't think that I'm better than it. I appreciate where I came from. It's just, this is not something that's important to me. So I don't want it to be important to you. I want your family and your lives to be filled with much more positivity than this garbage.
You know what I love that Bethenny says in this video? She basically says, without saying, she's over here working and trying to help people, real victims, not someone like Erika Jayne. She doesn't say this. I'm interpreting. Bethenny has done some amazing things. So many people will say Bethenny is an icon when it comes to reality TV, when it comes to Real Housewives. But I really believe that Bethenny Frankel's legacy will be all about the charitable things that she has done in the last few years. It's not just Ukraine. It's not just, the most recent disaster. She's done so many different things and raised millions and millions of dollars and brought relief to so many people. That is going to be her real legacy. But I love how she says that, my focus right now is not about what's going on with Erika. I'm not going to do a back and forth with Erika. And I like that. That shows maturity. Who knows what the Bethenny of yesteryear would have said in regards to Erika Jayne? She's not scared of Erika Jayne. For those of you that think, oh, she's just scared. No, she's not scared of Erika Jayne. She's just like, you know what? I didn't like what she said. I know people in my real life didn't like what she had to say about the late Dennis Shields. But sidebar, what Dennis told Bethenny was real. We've gotten away from what Dennis had said. That Tom Girardi and the people in the circles in California were saying that he was borrowing money to live this lifestyle with his wife. And that he even asked Dennis for money as well. And I told you yesterday, Erika Jayne knows a lot more about that law firm than she's acting like, especially how she broke it down. Well, you know, this is what they do and blah, blah. Okay, Erika. Oh, now we know. Now you know something. Oh, interesting. But what stood out to me in this video and what Bethenny said on the Wendy Williams show, sidebar, Bethenny wouldn't have been there if Wendy was still there. Yes, I know she's been there when Wendy was there, but their relationship has been rocky. It's been rocky. So it was interesting to see her there with Michael Rapaport. But Michael Rapaport, like so many of you, asked her, would you return, especially in this new reboot of The Real Housewives of New York? And Bethenny said exactly, Bethenny, are you watching my videos? Because I said this. Bethenny has left Real Housewives and come back. At this point, Bethenny is a multi-million-dollar brand. Okay? She didn't need to come back the second time. We're glad that she did, but she didn't need to. And I said, no, don't do it. Don't do it one more time. You are really trying to expand your brand. And now, as I said before, your legacy is this huge relief effort that you're doing. She's doing bigger and better things. I don't think it's good for her. She did say, though, in her video on TikTok that this is why she left this genre of reality TV. So she's not leaving reality TV out completely. She just won't return to Real Housewives, which I'm glad. You may have seen her HBO reality series, The Big Shot with Bethenny, which wasn't that great. Sorry, Bethenny. It wasn't that great. It felt very like you were putting on, like you were really just trying to be that boss when you should just naturally be that boss. And we know that you are. It just came across very put on. But the winner of that, she dropped some tea, was that basically once the winner won, she tried to renegotiate her money. And Bethenny was like, nope. She learned on Shark Tank never to do that. Just get out. So that girl missed her opportunity. We were rooting for you, girl. We were rooting for you. But I get it. She's a businesswoman. She's like, oh, let me renegotiate my contract. No, you knew what you were signing up for. Anyways, Bethenny tells Michael Rapaport that Bravo can't afford the amount of money it would take to bring her back to the Real Housewives.
The things you have accomplished. I'm gonna put you to it right now. Would you ever go back on the Housewives? They're talking about a legacy show. Would you at least go on for one episode and like launch them like little birds out?
This is what This is what you don't understand. First of all, no. Second of all,
wow.
I mean, I don't really think. Yeah, I can't. I mean, listen. If you're a real business person, I think there's usually some number, some astronomical number, but they cannot afford that number. But if you go on the one time, they will utilize that for the entire promo. It would have been like I was on the show, and this is the truth. So it would have been like you're on 20 episodes. You go 1 second, they would utilize that to promote it, which I'm not doing it anyway, but I'm just explaining to you that you don't give a little bit away. You don't do that. You give it all, or you don't give it at all.
I get it.
And she already, in previous conversations on her podcast, confirmed that when she was there the last time, she was getting paid an astronomical amount of money. She says in order for her to come back, especially right now, she knows in order to bring her back, they would have to give her what she wants, and she would want an executive producer credit, no matter what the streets are talking about. Oh, you know, she said this, but now she's denied. She would want an executive producer credit, and because of course it makes business sense, you want that income for the future, and she would want a lot of money. And a lot of you were like, pay her. Bravo is not getting that type of money like they used to. Maybe back in the day they would have paid that like they did. But nowadays, especially with RHONY, they're not doing it. Bethenny says it would take a lot of money, but she's over that era. She's over this fighting. And this is exactly what happened with her and Erika Jayne. she's just like, I don't want to get into a back and forth with a Real Housewife. That's not where I am in my life. She talks about her relationship now, how they're engaged. However, they're not in this, in a rush to get married. I don't blame her. She literally just got divorced after how many years of fighting with this man? Would you want to jump into a new relationship? Well, not even a new relationship, a new marriage. She's in a relationship, but she's like, let me breathe for a few years without getting married. I don't blame her. Bethenny, I'm happy to hear that you are over the drama. I'm glad you didn't go to the gutter, because we know you can. We know you have the potential. I'm glad you didn't go there. I'm glad you took the higher road, because you know that you have bigger and better things to do. You're helping victims, unlike someone else. Guys, as always, let's continue this conversation below. I want to know your thoughts on what Bethenny had to say, and if you think that Bravo should pay her the amount of money it would take to bring her back to the Real Housewives of New York. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Happy Saturday, and thanks for watching.